cool.
CSO Parry.
Very cool. Hello folks, how are you? All good in the hood, I hope. Welcome to the first episode of Heenan FC, Time of Our Lives. I am the Gaffer, Goldsmith.
I'm the skipper, Caden Parry.
And I'm General Bobby Baker.
It was originally the commander, but Bobby pulled rank on that one and changed his mind last minute. To be honest, ladies and gents, we do not have a clue what we're doing here. We absolutely have no idea. We plan to record this at 8, but the reason we're now recording this at actually 9 o'clock is because we all have no clue what we're doing in terms of technology.
School tomorrow.
Bobby and Caden do have school tomorrow, so Bobby's mum and dad, Caden's parents, if you're listening to this, I am sorry, but the technical issues meant that we only got started now. So, lads, we're finally here.
Yeah, after how long has been speculation for?
Well, we've had this in the works for what, like 3-4 months or something. Like, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? Like at first, I remember we were just saying like, oh, we're gonna do a podcast, and now we're like actually sat here doing it, and we have absolutely no idea what we're doing or what we're going to talk about.
Just been messaging me, calling me a big weirdo for doing a podcast about a footy club. We're probably going to be bottom of the league. We're going to be the new Cal the Dragon.
Well, you know what, Cal, if you're listening to this, we would love to do a collab with you one day. If we finish bottom of the league, you should come and play for us. How does that sound, Cal? If we finish bottom of the league, Cal the Dragon,
On Twitter.
you have to play for us first game of next season. But I think, you know, I know your missus is only messing about calling you a weirdo, but I feel like a lot of people do judge people for stuff like this, and ultimately we're just trying to have a laugh, aren't we? You know, we're not doing it to be serious or because we think we're like superstars or anything like that.
Just to give the lads having a laugh, innit?
Yeah, just trying to create some like amazing memories to look back on in the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember I was 16, 17, right, and I'm after prom and everything, and that's like nearly 10 years ago, but that doesn't feel that long ago.
Yeah.
Now you're doing a podcast with 17-year-olds.
That's what I mean, and like having these like opportunities to just create these memories, look back on and be like, we had this podcast on a Thursday night, sent it out on the Friday, and then lost 9-0 to Relegate Rovers on Saturday. But in all seriousness though, like I'm super excited for Saturday.
Yeah. It has been a long time coming, like, this game, hasn't it, really? How many weeks of training have we been doing this pre-season?
It's been mad, hasn't it? Because at times it's felt like it was just never going to happen. It was never actually...
I'd done it with my dad and we just folded. We couldn't afford to get into the league or not. We played 4 friendlies, got twatted and fucked off. It's my first ever league game.
And I think that's the issue with kind of creating a club, isn't it? You know, you need the players, you need the infrastructure, you need the commitment, and it's hard to get going. We've been lucky that we kind of had a good core of players already.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when did we start pre-season? May?
Was it the end or the start of May?
I reckon it was like 26th, 28th.
I feel like the 6th rings the bell, like the 26th.
So Burnley I think we're still in the Premier League then. that's how long ago it was when we started.
Still had Jürgen Klopp.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
And that we predicted Jürgen Klopp on, by the way.
Oh, that was mad as hell.
Well, Jürgen, again, if you're listening, you can
play for us.
First game of next season, you can coach Cal the Dragon and put that on his CV. You know, May, I remember we had 6 lads and you were obviously 2 of them. And it was a horrible day, wasn't it?
It was.
Raining, scattering.
Yeah. And I said to the boys, we're going to do a HIIT exercise.
In the wet mud. On a field we had no clue about.
Yeah, it was just weird vibes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just weird vibes.
Thinking about it like that, my fitness has improved so much since then.
And I think that comes with consistency, doesn't it? You know, like, the truth is, you're never going to get fit unless you show up. I know that's a bit of a Michael Owen thing to say, but it is true, isn't it? Like, if you half-heart anything, especially fitness, you're never going to see true results, are you?
Well,
and I think you can see that in the squad as well, like those that have took it seriously and those who haven't.
yeah.
And look at the predictions we were making, like to Tom. We were saying, oh, he's doing a knobhead and that. And look how well he's done.
Yeah, and you know, Tom's such an interesting character because when he first came, I thought, oh, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no offence, Tom, I'm sure you're going to listen to this. We thought, oh my god, like, rude, ignorant, rude.
Yeah, me dad's first words when we came into that meeting.
It was that meeting.
And he walked in, he went, you need an knobhead on your team. That was the first thing he said. He just knew.
You do, and he's still that knobhead, but in a different way.
He's not like a knobhead. He's just
Yeah.
like a knobhead.
But like it was that AGM meeting, and Tom sat there on his phone the whole time, and then the only time he'd say anything about the meeting was to talk about girls. And I remember towards the end of the meeting, I just turned around and didn't I? And I said, like, I can't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure I said, put your phone away or get out.
Yeah. And he put his phone away, didn't he? And like, got involved a bit.
That to me was the first moment where he was like, I need to change my attitude a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his attitude was bad, wasn't it?
Like even getting pictures and that, he wouldn't get in the muddy and just...
Yeah.
Well, I wondered who some of these players that we were bringing down were, because I said to him, why do you want to get in the picture, lad? He was like, oh, no face, no case, you've got to hide from people, haven't I? I thought, who are you hiding from, lad? You know, but now I think I couldn't imagine it without him now.
I know, he's just there, isn't he? And it's good that he's there.
And he's so fit. Like, it's...
Yeah, no, he's like the biggest, like, heel surprise,
Yeah.
It's his mentality.
He'll just run till he can't physically run anymore.
And I think that fucking yo-yo or bleep test we done, and he was injured, and he not completed it, but he's done the best out of everyone.
Yeah, we're all pulled out.
Yeah, he like done something to his quad or something, and he just ran
Do
to
you
it.
think that comes from, like, being in such a dark place in your life, throughout your life? I'm you know, me and Tom have had conversations, I'm not going to go into detail on this podcast, but do you think that comes from being in such a dark place in your life that you're just willing to put your body through so much hurt because you know what you felt in the past was worse?
Yeah. It's a mad one, isn't it? Like, thinking about
I think like mentality is going to be such an important
I
thing
reckon
for
a
us
lot of
this
it came from, he does MMA, doesn't he? Or
yeah,
boxing or
MMA,
something.
I think it is, yeah.
He's always done that. That's always going to get you more fit than footy does, I think.
season.
No, I don't reckon it will, you know.
Not reckon?
Because I've done MMA and like, you know, you're just sitting there just knocking shit out of each other for rounds, aren't you? Footy actually running around, you're blowing, you know what I mean?
But it's like taking and giving hits, like you're getting winded. Like I get it happens in footy,
yeah.
and I get it all that, but like it's more extreme in like a fighting sport.
I get what you're coming at, like.
I think the mentality, it certainly plays a part in terms of, well, if you can show up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and get battered by grown men, he's going to want to come first in a bleep test. You know, he's got that like mindset of like, I'm a winner because I do fight with older men and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think mentality is just going to be so important this season. We're going to concede goals, probably a lot.
Yeah, more than 2 a game.
Yeah, you know, it's not about showing up on Saturday and getting that win. You know,
It's like the ambition, isn't it?
I think I think just being there on Saturday, getting in the changing room, talking tactics, getting out, doing a warm up, playing the match. The fact that we've done that is a win itself.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. The Saturday morning I'm going to a dressing room.
I'm excited.
To put a kit on. It's even that I'm putting the armband on for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't wait for it, like, but I'm also like, I'm nervous for the game.
I think for you as well, like, obviously, I offered a vote out to the players to kind of see what their thoughts and feelings were about the captain for those that don't know, listening to this podcast, and Caden won the vote, and I had Caden kind of as my idea for captain anyway, but that must mean a lot to you to kind of have like the trust and faith in your players to kind of vote you.
Yeah, like, I didn't think I'd get it, to be fair. I was expecting Bobby or Spencer.
No, I was confident with you.
Was you? Yeah.
I was expecting me vice or reserve, but I'm happy I got an honourable mention. It might not be as big as them one roles, but
I think, you know, being captain now doesn't mean you'll be captain next year. Being vice now doesn't mean you'll be vice next year. It's
are we re-voting every year?
I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Same with kit numbers and everything, or just I want to keep me number 6 now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, keeping your number just comes from hard work, training every week, and keeping that attitude, putting the graft in. Yeah, and I think, you know, the graft, like, that's one thing we have done this pre-season, isn't it? We have grafted so hard. Like, there has been bodies on the floor at times, hasn't there?
And I think the graft's coming from what we went through with five-a-side, you know, the big losses there.
And let's touch on five-a-side, because that's kind of where it all began really, wasn't it? Yeah, the origins.
The origin, yeah.
And that is, you know, what this episode is called. For those that don't know, I met Caden and Bobby and everyone else through a five-a-side league that I referee at my workplace. And I'll always remember the first day that we played. And this is the first ever time I came across Caden, Sean, Bobby, Spencer and other players. And I was on the other pitch, and I remember my friend Panny refereeing Caden's game, and all I could hear from behind me was 3 or 4 lads screaming at each other for 40 minutes. And it sounded like it sounded like people that had problems.
So what, special needs in that, or?
Not special needs, but definitely anger management and not knowing how to behave in public. It was especially bad for Caden and Sean, just screaming at each other all game. And I remember turning around and Panny said to me, like, lad, you need to get on these. This is hilarious. They're losing like 21-0, and I think they're going to batter each other at any given second. All game, just constantly screaming at each other. And for those that don't know, the five-a-side games are only 40 minutes. I believe Panny that day played 48 because they were losing about 26-0. And Panny was like, I'm just going to keep playing until they score.
I scored until we top off.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because the games were only 40 minutes, I'd already finished my game at this point. So I was turning around, watching their game, and when Caden scored, like you said, he took his top off. And I'm pretty sure you all did a pile on each other.
I just remember doing all, just jumping on top of me. And it was a good moment, you know what I mean?
But wasn't that a win? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just getting that, like, first W. But then, like, when teams get beat that bad, like, they hardly ever come back.
Yeah.
Like, hardly ever.
And we kept coming back week in, week out, putting a
It
graph.
must have been hard at times, though.
There was arguments on it nearly every week.
Every week, screaming at each other.
I was on the side.
Whether it be me and Sean, me and Spencer, Jake and Spencer, there was someone always arguing on the pitch.
It was just hilarious because it was relentless, wasn't it? It was absolutely relentless. Like, and let's not be mistaken here. Like, this was the bottom league as well, by the way. Like the talent wasn't high to begin with, was it? But the score lines were just relentless. 19-2, 24, 21-6.
You know what, I might have a few to score.
Every single week. And they just wouldn't stop coming.
Wouldn't give up.
Just would not stop coming.
Until that win.
Well, you know, that win was such, you know, even from just like a worker, which I was at the time, such a proud moment for me to see that.
Yeah.
Like, And that was like when I didn't even know, like I knew he was a bit at that point. This is in January, by the way, guys. That their first game was October, I think. October, yeah. And I don't know how you must have felt, but I felt so proud watching that. It all just clicked.
It did. It was like we had the month off in December, didn't we? Come back in January, and
I think that was the first game I showed up to.
Everything was just different. The playing was different, the attitudes were different.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And I think like a lot of like you said, that touching attitudes there. I feel like in like end of November, start of December, you had games on the cusp of victory.
Yeah, like we were
got closer.
1 or 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but like and you were in the lead a lot too.
Yeah. We'd always take the lead by 2 or 3, and then we'd just lose it.
Heads would just drop.
Yeah.
But like now, obviously, like all these months later, you start getting like a few wins together.
We got 3 on the bounce, was it? 3 or 4 on the
It
bounce.
was something mad, and then like because of like teams not showing up and stuff like that, you ended up nearly winning the league. Like I think you finished third or something.
Finished third in the league.
Yeah. But I think like ambition this year has got to be to do better for 5-side, and just for me as a coach, setting low expectations is so important because then the only way is up. So I just want 1 win. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Anything else is a bonus for me. 1 win.
That
first that first goal as well is going to feel special when it comes, isn't it?
If it's me, I will take myself off again.
He starts me to go on. But you know, we've absolutely like worked our asses off in training, haven't we? What do you think was the session that you remember the most as just being like, I'm on my knees here?
Suicide runs.
No.
Definitely for me.
Why the suicide runs?
Because I remember I was like two runs behind everyone else. Me and Mazin at the back struggling. And I just remember at like the final, all the way back on my last run, I sprinted it.
Was that when I was behind you?
Yeah, I sprinted it as fast as I could. Past the line, dropped. Like,
couldn't give it anything else.
Like my legs were paralysed. Like it was the maddest thing, and it was fucking 5 suicide runs on a pitch. That's how unfit I was.
But you say that though, like that was hard, you know.
Yeah.
So for those that obviously won't know, it was 6 yards and back, boxing back, halfway and back, boxing back, 6 yards and back, a full pitch and back, times 5, which is tough, you know. And I remember like a lot of you were in the trenches that day. That was a tough one.
I was really spewing it on the side of the pitch.
On that day.
I think that's
in the middle of
I remember one of my favourite moments of being a Heenan manager so far, right? So you all did that and you were absolutely goosed, like fair enough. And I remember Mazan, he worked really hard, really hard. But I remember I just seen Mazan after we finished them suicide just walk off into the distance on his own. And this was around the time where Jay Slater had gone missing. And he just disappeared behind the tree. So one minute I'd seen him walking off into the distance. And then the next minute I turned back and he wasn't there anymore.
I do remember.
And I thought, Maz has done a Jay Slater here. He's gone.
He was going towards the gate, weren't he?
Yeah.
That little grass bit.
He said he'd gone to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
I reckon he went and been sick.
Definitely, yeah.
I reckon he'd been sick. But Mazan, if you're listening to this, mate, we miss you, lads, to be honest.
Love you.
We do.
It was good having him round,
you inspired a lot of people, mate, because let's get nothing wrong, Maz. You were quite fat when you came down, weren't you? You were, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying that, but what makes me so proud as a coach is seeing Maz send me videos now of him just running around town and that. And every time I see him, he's lost a quarter of his stone. Yeah. And he's skinny now.
He's done very well. Even
seeing him in school now, even after the 6 weeks, it's crazy. He's lost weight.
Yeah. And for me, it's as a coach, that's the sort of impact I want to have on people.
Yeah.
Because, my thing as coach is giving people the resources and opportunities I wish I had when I was younger. And that's not me saying I think I'm God or amazing at my job or anything like that, but that's me saying I think I can hold my own and I think I can help people.
Yeah.
And so to see Maz take going through the trenches on board and be if I can do that, I can go for a run 2-3 times a week and stick at it. Makes me feel dead proud as a coach.
Yeah,
It's a shame he's gone.
You definitely like I was even saying the graft he put in weren't just like down to himself like that. It's the push.
Yeah.
Has pushed him.
Push is so important though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I get he's left the team and I don't see him coming back.
I reckon he will next season.
But you've left an impression on him.
And that's the important thing for me, the impression. And if he does come back, you know, we love him back. But like some of us are at different stages in terms of like, everyone is in different stages, I should say, in terms of ability, maturity, fitness levels, attitude.
Yeah.
You know, they're like the 4 key things that I probably look at in a footballer, and we were talking about this on the walk home.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of at different levels in different things, if that makes sense. We all excel in probably one thing, and we all probably lack in one thing as well, because we can't all be perfect, of course. But for Maz, for example, seeing him, he already had the attitude, he's quite mature. Seeing him then like now work on his fitness.
Yeah, it's good
class,
to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, boys, Redgate Rovers on Saturday. I don't know a thing about them.
Nah.
I know they play in yellow, green, and they play at LCFA Sefton.
We're on the grass, aren't we?
On the grass, yeah. And you know what, like, I feel like Christmas. That's the feeling I've got in here.
The whole 10 days I was on holiday then, I've been counting down the days. it's a long time coming and I can't wait for it. But I've got the bit inside me that's nervous and the bit inside of me that's
Is it like excited nervous?
Yeah, it's like...
I think I'm the opposite. I'm confident.
You're confident?
Just with like the amount of work we've put in. The only thing I'm nervous about is whether I'm starting or not.
But like, I'm like nervous because like, say I've just been given captain and like, I go to that pitch and I put the biggest stinker of a performance in. I'm going to look at the biggest knowledge in the team.
I think though, like, if you put a bad performance in technically, but you're still working your ass off.
Still captain, aren't you?
Still leading.
Yeah.
Still, because leading is not just wearing the captain's armband. Leading is how you perform in terms of your running, how you stop people getting cautioned by telling them to shut up, getting them back in position, how you communicate with the referee. You know, in terms of a referee, as a referee myself, referees, and this is just a fact of life, like if you're nice to someone, they're usually nice back.
Yeah.
That's just like humans like humans that are nice to them. So if you're just nice to the referee, even when if he's having a bad game, a good game, a decision you don't agree with, a decision you do agree with, if you're just nice to him, chances then are that next 50-50 goes your way.
Yeah. I remember you saying
Because I know as a referee that when people are nice to me, maybe subconsciously the 50-50s do go their way because they've been nice to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it always does, but I'd be interested looking at like, is there like a scientific reason behind that maybe? But as a captain and as a leader, being able to lead by example is so important. And I feel like now that obviously we've got you, Bobby, Spencer, Tom as the leadership group, I feel like by the end of the season, looking at the squad we've got, there's more players that could compete to be in that leadership group, which then keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm looking like Bobby could be there for being captain next season, you know what I mean? Like, Jake Corrin could come out of nowhere to be surprisingly a leader. Players like that,
I think, you know, when you kind of have them people that push you forward to be better, you then have to want it more and have to keep leading by example more. Yeah, and you know, again, like when you have a captain who is just wearing the armband, that's not a captain.
No,
that's just someone that wears an armband. Do you know what I mean? They might as well go swimming. Like there's nothing that you're doing other than wearing an armband.
I know, it's might as well just come in a black armband.
Yeah, I think just on Saturday we just gotta like just get in their faces, and you know we're a good group of lads, and we're not gonna like cause aggro, cause fights or anything. But when I say get in their faces, I mean like aggressively but fairly and competitively. Be competitive, be a winner. Even if the result's not going your way, just be a winner. Like fight for it. And then we've had to do that so many times in 5-a-side this season. Fight for things, even when like I don't reckon, like, I'd say 9 times out of 10, the opposition at 5-a-side was better technically.
Yeah. If not every time.
Yeah. But the fight got you over the line every now and then, didn't it?
Yeah.
Not every time, like, we only won, 6 games, maybe 5 games.
6, it was.
Yeah. But they was just from fighting grit, wasn't it? And, the starting lineup on Saturday, the subs on Saturday, whether you're starting on the bench, not in the squad, it's not just about, like, your personal performance at this stage, it's about what we can add as a squad together.
Yeah.
I want the subs to be able to warm up the starting lineup like they're starting.
Yeah.
That's the attitude.
Yeah.
Because if you're on the bench and then your head's gone down, how can I bring someone on whose head is like, I'm on the bench, it's all about me?
Just,
Do you get what I mean?
But that mentality, like coming off the bench and save a game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, mate, what an example. What an example. Like, he was a classic, like, probably wasn't a good trainer. Can't imagine him working too hard in training. It just seems like that. No offence to Bob if you're listening, but I just can't imagine you working super hard in training. But you had that something special. Do you know what I mean?
He reminds me, I like the knobhead of the team at the point, like, all the celebrations he does, he just
yeah. But he was, the thing is with the attitude was like, he was ready to be deployed at any time.
Yeah.
And when he got deployed, it was like, my time to shine.
It was like, boom, I'm going.
It's not like, I'm on the bench, so when I come on, I'm not going to try. It was like, I'm coming off the bench, so
to make an impact.
I'm going to be the main man.
Yeah.
And that for me is what I want to see from the subs this Saturday. Being on the bench on Saturday, if you are, doesn't mean I think you're shit, doesn't mean you're going to be in the bench every week.
Yeah.
It just means on Saturday, this is the 11, this is the bench. And it doesn't mean like you've been the best 11 in pre-season.
Yeah.
It just means this is what I'm going with this week.
Yeah.
And then next week might be a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, as a Burnley fan, I used to see company just change like 6 players at a time every week. And maybe that's not the way to go. But I'm saying, like, one lineup 1 week doesn't mean that is the lineup. It just means this is what we're going with this week.
Just trying out. It's a new team, like, you gotta try your lineup.
Being on the bench could be, for some people, it might be me testing their mentality. You're a starter, I'm gonna put you on the bench to see how you react.
To see how you react, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
To see how you come on and earn your place back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't want players who are good, whether you're good, bad, shit, amazing, but don't want to work for the team just because they're on the bench. Being on the bench, like, I mean, I've done loads of time on the bench in my life, but I used to just love coming on and just working hard because when you come on, you're fresh.
Yeah. Like the rest of the opponents
Yeah.
always.
That's what I mean. I'd prefer to end the game than start a game.
Yeah, 100%. Because, like, if you get taken off, guarantee 5 minutes after you've been taken off, you felt like you could do more.
But I like starting it because it's just, I like hearing that whistle and going at them. Like, I reckon that's the best part of the game. It's the whistle
at the end.
for you to go at them.
Yeah.
It's what?
So you want to, like, get in the face in the first
straight
minute.
away.
Yeah. Well, it's we don't know what's going to happen on Saturday, do we? I have absolutely no idea what the score's going to be.
It could go our way, it might not.
Yeah, like we don't know what we're walking into. That's the thing that gives me nerves. Like, we don't know if they're going to be. Well, we've heard they're quite good, but we don't know what the definition of good is in this league.
Yeah.
Do we know where they finished last season?
Well, they were in the under-17s last season, and I think they finished, I want to say quite high, like top 4 in under-17s. Yeah. So they're going to be a decent outfit, and we want to give them as much respect as possible in terms of, being fairly competitive and not disrespecting them as a club and as a team. But we want to go for them on the day and try and make our own bit of history, don't we?
It's our first impression on the league.
Everyone's going to see that result.
Exactly. You don't want it to be written like.
If you're on the end of like, if you're on the end of like 27-0, 15-0, then everyone's looking at that going, easy 3 points.
We're going to take the piss out of
Yeah,
themselves.
easy 3 points for them. When we play them, that's just a box tick to get 3 points.
Whereas if we come up and get a 1-1-0.
Or even like a 4-0 loss. Like, that's still, I think at this level, that's still competitive.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds silly, but like, losing, even if it's 3-4-5-0 at this stage, to me, is nowhere near the end of the world.
Yeah. You like to go through every week.
Well, yeah. But, you know, I think that's kind of a lovely kind of way to wrap up, you know, in terms of our mentality. You know, we're prepared to win, but if we lose, we're not going to be too disheartened.
We'll just take the positives out of those.
Mate, 100%. And then we go again next week, back in training next Thursday. We don't have a game next Saturday, so we train Saturday morning. You know, we're going to just do everything we can just to give ourselves a chance. But in the meantime, gents and ladies, thank you very much for listening. I have been your gaffer, Sean Goldsmith.
I've been the captain, Caden Parry.
And I'm gonna swerve off this general, and I'm commander. I said it before, general just sounded gay. So it's like, look, it is what it is.
Take care. Happy days.
It went well, that.
Yeah.
My hands got a bit sweaty though.
Happy days. Gonna have to try to edit out that gay bit at the end.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
So that was good.
That's the only bit we're gonna have to edit out.
So I enjoyed that though, just sitting there and having a combo,
Yeah, same. That was sound, that wasn't it? How do I save this now then? You.
Our bus is in 20 minutes. We're not
From where?
From Queen's Square.
I have to leg it.
No, we won't make it.
If you run, you will definitely. I can get there in 25 minutes walking.
Queen's Square, yeah.
I've got my big ball bag on me though.
I'll just leave it here.
Yeah.
Comes
Got my
down,
shorts,
yeah.
my boots.